Boys, we really gotta stop caring about a lot of stuff that happens in our life. Genuinely, we need to stop caring a lot. Like, life is so short to actually give a fuck about a lot of things that we give a fuck about. I was actually yesterday. I was with my friend of mine, and we went to this screening event for like a World Cup and whatnot. It was Mexico versus South Africa. Bear in mind, I don't watch sports. I don't watch football. I think sports out of sports is a psyop as a whole. Different video. I don't want to talk about all that here, but I saw these guys, like these Mexicans, like who were cheering for their team and everything, and guys in jerseys, and they were having a laugh, and they're really like shouting and craving their part, and like you would look at him and think like this guy's a fucking kid, yeah. That's how what you would think, but he didn't care. He was just shouting and cheering for his team all the time, and I was like, all right, you know what, like I feel like that's that part of some guys gonna look at that and think that's cringe. Other guys gonna be like, oh, he's just a child, and I'm like wondering to my head, I'm like, this is what is wrong with the men today. That thing right there, that we don't do that anymore. We don't act like kids as we used to. I was told I was walking like a day or two ago. I was walking with with this person, and they were asking, and then she was like, I was walking with this girl, and she goes all of a sudden like, "You're acting like a child today," and I'm like, "I am a child. I am. I'm never gonna change that. I'm never gonna do that because I feel like that's what's happened to men today. The modern men of today are so lost, and they're so away, and they just have this weird disconnect with their own self simply because they are no longer in touch with their inner child. Now, I don't mean to say you have to be unserious about life all the time, but that spirit inside you is dead as a whole. And this is what has happened today because there are two things here, obviously. There's one, the way you're supposed to live your life and the way that was natural to you, that was inclined by God. And there's one way which has been propagated and designed and pushed towards you by the media. And this is the second one that most guys are chasing because we have this whole world of guys, this whole generation of men who are just chasing the corporate dollar, who are just chasing a lifestyle, we're just chasing this status driven life all the time. We're chasing the perfect life. All of them want the perfect life, the lifestyle, the money, and everything. They're chasing it. And by the time they grab all those things, what happens? They're still miserable. And you'd be like, how do I know? Well, trust me, I've been around, and funny enough, I live in Dubai, the world capital of the world. I meet guys like these all the time. And everything is good on paper. The guy has a car, has an apartment, everything, blah, blah, blah. Still feels empty on the inside because he realized this was never truly his. This wasn't the perfect life that he was actually supposed to live. Before having any of these things that you want, you just believe that. And the problem with that whole idea of having a perfect life and having a lifestyle is it's not really about living with purpose. It's more so about just materialistic gain. Now, I'm not saying money's not important. I believe you should gather as much resources as possible, but you should always ensure that these resources are always in your hand and not in your heart. Bear that in mind. They should be in your hand and not in your heart. Because by the time you put them in your heart, you almost realize even if you gather all those things, the resources are there and you gather them and you have them and they're close to you, you still feel this weird disconnect. Why is that the case? Simply because it was never the thing that you were supposed to get to have the ideal life, to have the perfect life. Before you go out and try to grab money, before you go out and try to chase the corporate hierarchy, before you go out to buy that apartment, get that car, be all this, have the status in your life and whatnot, realize that ultimately these things will never actually land you towards your true self. You will never be able to achieve that perfect life that you dreamed of by chasing things, by getting things, by acquiring things. You will never do that. The perfect life. What is it? What even is the perfect life? Is it the mansions? Is it the hot tens? Is it the supercars? Well, these things might look like they might look good on paper, all these things that I mentioned. But you only realize that the perfect life doesn't need to be lived by gaining and acquiring these things. The perfect life can be lived today without having these things. It can be just you realizing that you're just walking in the park and realizing, you know what? My life is perfect. And I'm not saying that you don't need to strive for more. I never said that. But I'm making you understand that that life that you're trying to chase, which you think is at the other end of the spectrum, is not actually there. The grass is not greener on the other side. It's where you water it. The same place where you understand that how your life is, because at the end of the day, we are all children of God. At the end of the day, God has ordained us to be in a certain way. God has ordained us to live life a certain way. I'm not that religious, bear in mind. I'm not a scholar. I'm not a saint, but at the end of the day, I do believe in God as a whole. And I feel like what most men truly need in their lives, and that's the reason they're all lost, is because they've killed that child in front of them. That child that was inside them, they've taken now, they've killed it. Like guillotined it as a whole. I don't know if that word is allowed on YouTube. Might get banned for that, but that's what's happened. Because because the psyop that has been like, pushed towards men as a whole, that you have to become an adult and everything and all that. And yeah, you have to be an adult, I get that. But being an adult is just like, what do you do as an adult? Oh, you have to file the insurance paper, you have to do this, file the taxes, go over there, get this done, get this sorted. All these things pile up, and life just becomes too hard at one point. Life just becomes too much, mate. Like being an adult's not easy, and life just gives you all the reasons to just become an adult and just become hardened as a whole, to the point where you just lose that inner child inside you, and you just lose that touch that made you more than just human. That touch, that inner child inside you, is probably one of the biggest problems why the modern men today feel so anxious, why they feel so weird, why they feel completely lost even after they've achieved everything. And even the reason why they as a result can't get or have any sort of meaningful relationships with people. Because you would expect, okay, like these things might land you people, because a lot of times, like these materialistic things, they just attract superficial people into your life. They don't help you have a connection, because what happens now is people look at that and think to themselves, this guy has stuff, maybe he can help me out. It's never to know you. It's never to understand that you have some sort of relatability. It's never to understand, if you have similar hobbies and similar passions, or you can get along. It's always those things. And a lot of times these guys are just miserable, and they're in this downward spiral. Downward spiral, funny enough. Yeah, even though they have things, they have the car, they have the money, they have the apartment, they have things. But still they're in this downward spiral. Because their whole life they were told that they have to chase the dollar, they have to chase money, they have to chase this thing, and then everything will be fine. It won't. The perfect life doesn't need to be lived by working towards those things and accumulating wealth or accumulating resources. Even if you have resources, I would tell you right now, live on maybe like 1/3 of it. Live on that. Genuinely, you'd be like, oh, well, I have nothing to live off of. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do with all that money, anyways? What do you need to buy? I know buying is justified, but I don't believe you should buy things for the sake of buying it. I buy stuff sometimes. I don't buy a lot of stuff, honestly. I don't have designer gear. I don't have a fucking, what do you call that? I don't have like 6-figure watch on my wrist. I don't do all that. I don't buy all that. But I feel like even if you buy that, you should buy that because you enjoy it. Not because you feel like you're gonna get this, so you're gonna have the perfect life you wanted. You're gonna get this apartment, so everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna have security. You're gonna get this car, so everybody's gonna look at you and give you compliments. Well, what's the point of all that? Like, what is that adding to you? Does that make you happy at the end of the day? It's just a never-ending struggle, is it? Again, it's a fine line. I'm not saying you shouldn't do anything. You should always live true to yourself. But when are the last time, instead of you actually just making sure that you need to buy the next thing or get the next car, or get the next apartment, when's the last time you taught yourself, you know what? Let me go to the garden today, sit down, look at the sunset, play on some nice music, light up a cigar, or whatever you want to do. Keep a coffee next to you. I don't know, and just appreciate the beauty that is in front of you. Was the last time you did that? When I was with my friend, like when I went back when I wasn't home last year, almost funny enough, in June. This was the last year, literally. I was with my friend, and he was telling me, like, let's go to this, there's a spring water, there's a fountain, spring water, natural spring. You have to kind of climb it, and then you kind of reach it towards the mountains. So I was like, yeah, let's go to the water. And bear in mind, I just had finished uni and everything, and he's like, you still are, like, pretty excited about it, like, as you were back in the day. I'm like, yeah, I am. And that is never going to change, because I'm still that kid, and that kid inside me is never going to go away. And I'll always make sure it never goes away, because I know for a fact if it does, I'll just lose my touch. I'll just lose my spark. I would be at weddings, literally, and I would look at these old men, and literally, like, these guys were, like, really, really old. But they don't overthink anything. They just have this charisma about them. There used to be this old guy I used to see at the weddings. I don't know if he's still there, but God preserve him all the time. He's a really good lad, honestly. And I still remember as a kid when I look at him, he would just he would be at all the weddings, talk to all the people. He was married as well. Like he didn't care. Like he would talk to any person. Doesn't matter the chef, the guests, the friends, or whatever. Spark of conversation. He had such charisma about him, and he was an old man, genuinely. And he's like he wouldn't care about anything. But you know why? Firstly, because yeah, and everybody would tell me, you know what? He's the same way he was when he was a kid. He didn't kill that inner child inside him, and secondly, he never ever was, overthinking. He was never in that state of analysis paralysis. Never. Most guys nowadays, if you tell them to talk to a girl, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what should I tell her? What should I think her? What if she says this? What if this happens? What if she tells me no?" I'm like, you didn't even to the point where they think so much is to the point where they don't even try. And there's this old man. He doesn't even care. He's like he just goes everywhere, talks to people, and I'm like, he has this natural energy about him that people just gravitate towards. Guarantee some people are gonna like it, some people are not gonna like it, some people find it cringe, some people find it pleasing. It's the way it is. You're gonna disappoint people either way. If you stay where you are, you're gonna disappoint people. If you try to, make an effort and do things, you're still gonna, at the end of the day, disappoint people. It's not gonna change. But when I look at that guy all the time, I was like, that's how he is. He doesn't even care. Brings me to the point of like even looking the lens through my own grandfather sometimes. Like my grandfather, like as a kid, I was remember like he's still alive. God preserve him. He's just such an amazing person as a whole, and learned a lot from him. He's old now, but I still remember like he doesn't sit anywhere. Like when I sit anywhere, like this guy's old. He still walks around every single place. Like his knees are not the same, but he doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't care. My father would tell him like, "Don't go out," and your doctor told you your knees are not there, but it's like he doesn't care. And it's not because the guy is like, he's trying to be ignorant or whatnot. He's so like he has this delusion in his head which almost makes him ignore all conventional wisdom. This might stray off from the main topic of the video because I don't want to talk about the belief side. I want to talk about what actually makes has made men feel has made guys feel like they've lost that touch. I want to keep on that and all that. But again, that idea of not caring and not overthinking, because we overthink so much and we plan so much and we overanalyze so much to the point where it's just not healthy to any of us. Like, what is a service for at the end of the day? Because yes, you're doing it, okay, like you think about stuff, fine. I'm not saying that you should be more like you should just never think. But at the end of the day, try to be a bit of like moronic about it at times. Like don't think, just do more and think less a bit sometimes. Genuinely, you would be almost surprised like how much different life can be sometimes if you just keep doing things and not overthink this much. Like this whole disconnect has been so far, as I said, because of guys. Because I see these guys all the time in Dubai. Like I meet some of them, and I see these guys who are high up in the corporate chains, or they're really successful guys on paper and everything and whatnot. And the problem with them is again they killed a child inside them. They overthink all. They're like hardened adults now. They're just too much of an adult. They become too much of an adult. Too much of everything is boring, right? And too much of everything is bad for you. Same thing with these people. The excess part is something to balance. Do you have to be an adult? Yes, you have responsibilities, but don't kill that child inside you in the process, bro. Don't commit that infanticide. I don't know if I should say that word right now, but funny enough. Yeah, don't commit child infanticide. That's today's lesson, actually, for your own self, for your own betterment. But I feel like, and then these guys, like, they are so lost that they can't even connect with human beings as a whole. I was talking to this guy once, and this guy bought a Ferrari, by the way. Like, he has supercars, he has money and everything. He bought a Ferrari, and he sold it. And he was like, I bought the Ferrari just to see how it would feel. He's like, you know what happened? He's like, I didn't even like it afterwards. Like he's in business. He's been in the business for like, I don't know, 7, 8 years now. And he's like, he had enough money, so he wanted to buy a supercar now. He only buys trucks all the time. He's a truck geek, right? And he's like, I just wanted to buy it to see how it feels and everything. He's like, all the time that happened was he's like, even when he would go out to just meet a girl on like a date or just to know her, it would make things so hard for him. And I explain to you why. You would think like, because guys online, they think like, oh, all you need to get a girl is to just get a fucking supercar. Well, I kid you not, it doesn't help. And this is coming from, I'm not chatting shit. I'm not making stuff out of thin air. This is coming from guys who actually own these cars, and I'll talk to them, and they will tell me like, it doesn't help you. It actually makes the job 10 times harder. Now you think to yourself, why? And I kind of honestly understood that at my own level, that I don't think you need things to actually impress, to get people to like you or anything, or actually build a connection, because I feel like if you try to bring something which is material, it always sets up that superficial precedent, and it also makes it hard to establish that connection. Because firstly, I'll tell you why it makes sense. But he explained it in his idea, but I'll make it more palatable and digestible for you guys. Firstly, when you set up that precedent that you have a car, let's say there's a girl and she's just out there for resources. Now she's not gonna take the time to know you better. She's gonna be like, he has resources, he has stuff, so I just have to put on a good girl, my good girl get up, and then everything's gonna be fine. So how will you ever know her true self? Because she's playing a mask, right? She's wearing a mask right now. How would you know that? Firstly. Secondly, you know what it triggers her in her mind? It triggers insecurity. You would be like, oh no, it should trigger security. No. There's something inside you that is lacking that you overcompensate with something which is materialistic. Trust me when I said you'll be like this. This is so difficult for some of you to understand, but trust me, this is hard because if you haven't lived life enough or you haven't lived through the experience, you wouldn't realize it. But trust me, women can pick on it pretty easily. And when you buy things to overcompensate for yourself or to overcompensate something which is lacking inside you, you don't really feel genuine about those things, and those things never make you feel good. It's like you see two guys who own the same car. One guy just doesn't give a fuck. He just rams it every day, does whatever he wants, and he just enjoys and has like he just wants to have the car because it's good crack to him. The other guy's a bit more sophisticated about it. He likes it. He insures it. He checks about it and everything in detail and whatnot. And you see the difference between the two guys. You know what the difference? The guy who bought a car who drives like a madman, he bought it because he likes it. He doesn't care about what it is. He will sell it anyways. He couldn't give a fuck. It can catch fire the next day and he'll be like, oh, don't matter. I don't care. I enjoyed it. I had it. I enjoyed it. That's it. The other guy, if something happens to the car to a scratch, whole world is going to break loose. You know why? Because he bought it because he felt like he's going to feel enough after buying it and he still didn't. And when something happens to that car, it breaks his soul inside. It breaks the soul. It itches him as a whole. And women can pick on that. And they'll just pick on that and think to themselves, yeah, that is just out of insecurity. See, this is what guys don't also realize. Like, go back to like, I mean, we don't live in the primal age, but go back to all the way there. You think you really need a car to like? Do you really need all these things to actually impress people or to get a life that you want? Like, look at your forefathers, look at your ancestors. They survived through plagues. They survived through all these problems, all this time where, and all these conditions which were almost like, if you put a modern person today in those times, he'll be dead because of the level of comfort he's living in. But if you look at them, they were able to survive all that and go through all that, and they didn't need anything else to actually go through, just for the fact that they knew that they don't have to think that much. Firstly, and secondly, again, their child never went away because they were always around nature. They were always around good people. Good food, good people, training, and your purpose. That's all you need to have a good life. Just these four things, nothing else. You have good food, your body is well. You train, your body is well. You feel good about yourself, your mind as well. Again, your good people, your friends, your family who actually support you and genuinely care about you. That's all that is required. And your purpose, that is the way you're supposed to live your life, that has been ordained by God, and the way you dedicate yourself towards a craft. These are the only four things you need to have a perfect life. And the problem with buying things is you try to compensate for yourself, and you think like, oh, if you get stuff, or even if you buy it from someone else, because I see this all the time. The guys like, oh, I think I need to buy her designer gear and whatnot, get her a bag, and I'll buy her. I'm like, what are you gonna buy her? Like, what are you gonna do about that? You're gonna buy her a logo? Give me a break. Like, who gives a fuck? A logo? You think she's gonna care about your logo? Or you bought it's a Louis Vuitton bag? Is it? Is it a Louis Vuitton bag? Is it? Or is it just made by a Chinese kid in a factory which is getting paid like $2 an hour? Is it? Oh, it's a brand. It's designer. It's gonna look good only for people who care about all that shit. People actually want like genuine connections and genuinely want to know you. They don't really care about all that stuff. And you're leading with the brand. You're leading with all these things, thinking that, oh, I'm gonna buy her and she's gonna care about it. You think she's seriously gonna care? And even if she does and make that decision, well, guess what? You gotta buy that shit for the rest of your life, and you're probably gonna wonder to yourself, oh, I'm just a bank account and legs and nothing else to her. That's it. Trying to compensate with materialistic stuff, trying to compensate with the fact that you need to think twice, it's never gonna help you. That child inside you that's there, it's still inside you. Just, and the good news, it's not dead yet. It's still there. It's just you become too hard at the point where you think like it's done now. You can't find it. You can still find it to some to like to a bit of an extent, not entirely, but you can. You just have to search inward. You just have to search inward and realize it's not a new routine. It's not new habits. It's not some sort of cheat code or anything like that. It's not some sort of secret hack that is there. None of those things. It's about looking inward and realizing where your identity lies as a person. Realigning your inner values. And once you do that, trust me, the entire world will make more sense to you. You will feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about the way you live life simply because you're more in line with your purpose. You're more in line with your internal state. Once your internal state is dialed in, once your beliefs are going to be good. Once your beliefs are good, your actions are going to be good. And when your actions are good, your results are going to be good. And accordingly, you're going to get feedback, which is good as a whole. That's the whole cycle of it. But I feel like, yeah, that's kind of like the basis of it. I feel like this was another rant today, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.